Hey everybody, it's Andy, aka Max Rider. We are back in our little unnamed village here on the ASU server, and I am trying to figure out what to build next. I want to go for a couple houses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we're going to start it here. I also have a story to finish telling you guys about the town of 2, 3, 5. Okay, that'll do, that'll do. Oh, wait, let me turn on the timer. Sorry, guys. So, our intrepid heroes have escaped from the town of Blackwell. They had actually spotted a mysterious stranger who kept showing up. They never actually managed to get close enough to him to talk to him, so they had no idea who he was. They had escaped, but they had left behind just about everything. Their personal IDs, their property, their weapons, most of their weapons, Willow's car. Willow was the only one who actually escaped, who was actually playing. He found himself alone in the countryside that same game night, because this was the night that my friend Steve was like, this game sucks, I don't want to play anymore, because he'd lost his third character, I think, in a row, or his second, I don't know, it seemed like he'd lost a lot of characters. So he was kind of sick of the game by that point. But we encouraged him to pull up a character that he had played in Punitive Expedition back in 1916, and it turned out to be a good idea. So he brought in, let's see, who did he bring in? Chip Mathers, who was a bounty hunter, and who just happened to be coming home from, I need to lose some stuff, who just happened to be coming home from from Canada, going through Maine, when he spotted a man on the side of the road with no hat, and his suit was terribly disheveled and a mess, and we want to make half slabs out of these. So he stopped for the guy, who was very suspicious but very grateful, and he had no shoes on. He was all covered with mud. It was a lightning storm, because that's where the terrible session had ended before. I got to figure out the design for these guys. Hold on. Oh, perfect. That just grew. That's exactly what I wanted, another giganto tree. I'm hoping that'll do the same thing. Anyway, sorry guys. So Willows goes back to his job, thinks, I am never going to go back to Blackwell again. That place was awful, and hopefully they find his car later on in a river up there, and he hopes that these people will not track him down and that he will not have to deal with them again. Oh, the poor deluded fool. Anyway, meanwhile, my friend Scott has rolled up a new character. He's named him Elliot Macy. He's a dilettante, rich, and turns out that his father, that he's related to the Macys who own the store, and it turns out that his father ends up knowing the same guy who says he asked some people to go help. He hasn't heard back from him. Could Macy do him a favor and check up on it? And so Elliot Macy's like, sure, I will do you the favor, and I will check up on this guy named Willows. He calls up his friend, one of his father's heavies named Mathers, to go with him, just in case things get bad. So they go to, I'm going to need half slabs. Right now I have a ton of wood, so this will do. Anyway, so they go to visit Willows. Mathers recognizes him. They're trying to figure out what to do about the whole situation, when the door bursts open and Deputy Swan stumbles in and he yells Willow's name. His hair's gone completely white. He's barefoot. His clothes are ragged. He had to flee just like the rest of them. And he's got some kind of a briefcase with him, and he screams Willow's name out and then drops dead right in front of all of them. Oh, perfect. My goodness. They find the briefcase has a journal. Willows had stumbled across a dead body before, too, in the village that awful, terrible night. But the briefcase, it turns out, has a journal. We're going to make this into one of the watchtowers. Did I get rid of the... No, I didn't. That's not nearly enough. Hold on. I got to get some gear. It's quite a moment when this terrible thing happens. It's a little tiny watchtower. We might make some better ones later. And Willows confesses to everything that he saw in Blackwell. The others kind of believe him. Whoops, is there a creeper down there? Yeah, yep. Is he coming up? No. So they start discussing on how to go back to Blackwell. They decide they're going to just circumvent the town altogether. Screw that town. It's nothing but trouble. So they recruit a few other people to come help them. Let's see. Hold on a sec. Let me put this in. Boop. Okay, there's one done. Except for the door. We'll put a door in it shortly. The other one I need to figure out a design for. So hold on. So they're going to enlist some help this time. Here, let me take a look at this list here. They get Derek Montgomery, what was he? He was a merchant marine that played of a brand new player. Vito Capelli, also a brand new player. There's a gangster. And Professor Beauregard Johansson, who was teaching archaeology at nearby Miskatonic University. Most of them are doubtful as to what. These are going to be pretty much identical buildings. Well, shoot, no, I don't want to do that, do I? I'm thinking, how about this? We're going to make one like that one, but we're going to use more wood than we are stone. It's going to suck down my wood supply, but that's okay. And it'll just have a regular... No place to stand on the roof. So, that should work. So, anyway, so they get set up with these guys. Oh, wait a minute. No. I gotta build the walls and stuff first. It'll be impossible to put these logs in the way that I want to if I don't. So... Oh, I don't need this for that. Ah, I'm so dumb. So anyway, so they enlist these people's help. All of them are very doubtful as to what is really going on. Let's get more logs. We're definitely going to need more wood. Which I've got a ton of right now. Because that hill over there, what the world? Okay, that's that other big tree. That hill over there is very productive, and I'm thinking about putting a church up there. It just seems like it would be fitting. Inventory is pretty full, but... yeah, it's more in the wood than I'm going to need. Anyway, so... they also decide they're not even going to bother with the town. They check a bunch of maps, and they find that there's a river that runs very close to the... What am I doing here? Come on, wake up. There's a river that runs very close to the place, which they can use to get there without having to worry about... oh, shoot, I'm going to need more half slabs. Going through the town and dealing with the sheriff of the town, which he was called a sheriff, but he wasn't. He was just a town constable. So they would be able to not have to deal with him or anybody else. Are there 5x5 houses that are all wood like this? I'm looking at some of these pictures that I've got, but I'm not seeing any. Usually the bigger ones like this then have like an extra high roof. I don't think so. So we're just going to go for two that look kind of like that. Anyway, they go to the nearest town to the river where they'll be able to get to this village from it and rent boats. They rent a couple of boats with outboard motors. They managed to... oh, I need more glass. They've found there was explosives in the briefcase that they found with Swan. So they take that. The gangster has a Thompson submachine gun. They grab that, so they've got that to help them out as well. We need to light these buildings, especially the roofs. Whoop, 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 whoop. What we'll do for now... and they're set. It's kind of a screw these guys who messed us up before. This is not going to happen again. They head into the house. They see the horrible chapel, and it really affects the people that, especially the people that did not have any belief in what was going on, and were kind of like, what? Those people are starting to get convinced. They see this rat casting spells with a human head, and it's quite horrible. They get down below and they have to face off against not only one of the librarian in the town. All the spells she cast when they were there the first time pretty much drove her crazy. So the other cult members had pretty much sequestered her in the house until she could deal with it, or they could do something with her. They had also found out that there was this well they had to seal up. And so they go in there. It's terrible. It's horrible. There's this dead guy. Oh, the priest shows up. A zombie of the priest shows up. Yeah, we need to make some doors. My inventory's really full. The professor, who didn't believe any of it, ends up getting the Thompson because the gangster drops it. He just pretty much opens up with the Thompson, cuts the priest's body in half, and then the top half of this corpse starts coming at him. And not exactly the way rules work for zombies, but it made for a great scene. And they ended up like just chucking him into the well, and they drove off the bad guys, including the librarian. There, it's done, guys. There's 2 brand new houses for the village. Hooray! I think it's about time to bring in some villagers, don't you? Could be. So, they end up sealing the well, they dynamite the house, they just blow it to pieces, and then they flee back in their boats and head back north. And that was how that scenario played out. Nobody died the second time, but they really went in with a plan and they knew what they were doing. And the first time they were it was a little not so much that way. I think this is light enough in here. So how does it look? Let's see how it looks. It's going to be hard to look from a distance with night coming, and zombies apparently already hanging out, but these 2 houses are fairly identical, but not completely identical, so I think they'll do. I think they look nice. Excuse me. And I've spread them out enough because sometimes villages feel a little crowded. And this is a regular house. I might put a bed in there, and this is going to be a watchtower. So I guess next thing to do is work on getting some villagers. So we're going to try that for the next episode. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for listening to my jabber. Next time will be not next time necessarily, but next time I talk about Call of Cthulhu, it will be a story about Mr. Corbett and the terrible things that your next-door neighbor can do. So, I hope you guys will join me for that. And yeah, that's about it. I will talk to y'all next time.